Hotels.com had a virtual vacation experience on desktop that spread over to mobile. Again, it was this idea of imagine vacations, imagine places you could go in a fun way. Now this would be appealing to people who were frequent Hotels.com customers. But the interesting thing about this was 50% of the people who ended up in the mobile experience on Hotels.com had never been to Hotels.com before. So they were new people, not just current customers who were thinking and dreaming about vacations and how to take part. And now I want to switch into the researching mode. We talk a lot about more and more usage on the phones. And we haven't released a lot of data, but we're releasing this today, which is that 20% of our total hotel queries in the US are coming from mobile phones. So I want to pause. This is a 3-year, 4-year graph. Hitting 20% of our total queries on hotels coming through mobile phones is amazing. Now I want to tell you the bad news. The bad news is that when we polled our top 800 advertisers, we found that 80, and this was across all business sectors, not travel specifically, we found that 80% of them didn't have a mobile optimized site or a mobile experience that was good for the user. So map the 20% of demand coming in and how many have built out proper mobile experiences, mobile landing page, mobile applications. Some, but there's definitely room to go. And we like to say, if you have 20% of your total traffic coming in and no place to land people, to let them do the researching they want to do the bookings they want to do, it's like being closed for business a day or two a week. I mean, it's a huge, huge opportunity. So we just wanted to show you some real logs data. Now, when people are searching, they want to obviously land somewhere, and they're usually people who are in the active phases of researching. One of the most common activities for people to do on their mobile phones, obviously, is searching and researching. And for people who've said that they use the mobile phone as part of the travel process, 50% said searching was what they were doing, and they had intentions to book. This shows a screenshot of Carnival Cruises, who built a mobile site that allows you to book so you can start the researching process, but you can also research and book within the same experience, which is what consumers more and more are asking for. And the other screenshots show an American Airlines ad for the American Airlines app. So for some categories in travel, building an app, an iPhone app, an Android app makes sense. But what we hear a lot is, well, I'm not getting traction in my app. You have to make sure your app is discoverable. If you end up using search or display advertising to advertise an app, what happens is you can allow people with one click to deep link into iTunes to download it, or deep link into Android Marketplace to download it. It's very measurable, it's very fast, and we've been seeing great results. Now, booking can come in many forms, obviously, through the web, through the app, and through phones. And this, the example from Travelocity just shows the experience on the right-hand image. You can call to book. Lots of people like to call to book. For some people, they want to use mobile to research, but they may not want to complete a booking process on a phone. They may find, depending on how the site is designed, that it's too hard to input all their information. They may find it's just easier to click to call. So the point here is to make sure that when you think about if your end goal is booking, build a great experience that translates user intentions. They want to book on an app, on the web, or just through the phone. It's really up to the customers. But you should build elegance into the system so you allow people to do that. Now, 70% of mobile web users, which, according to Travelocity, booked a hotel for a stay within 24 hours. Now, that's just absolutely amazing that there are so many last-minute travelers. But we found the same thing with other clients. We worked with EasyJet in the UK, a discount airline. And what they did is they looked at their desktop traffic and their mobile traffic, and they wanted to see what was the time difference in terms of researching through to booking and how many days out was the flight. And the average user in the UK using EasyJet's website was booking a flight 30 days out. And on mobile, it was 10 days out. And we see that time and time again, that when people are using mobile, whether it's mobile search, mobile display, whether they're in an app, they're researching, they're ready to purchase. They're closer to the point of purchase down the funnel, and they really want a good experience. So the challenge is how to give them a great experience. This data also is very, very similar. The Priceline example, 82% have booked within a day of arrival on the app versus 45% on desktop. And 58% were within 20 miles. And I believe 35% were within a mile of the destination. Now, what really differentiates mobile from desktop in many, many ways is this proximity to the end location and the urgency of booking. So if the beauty of the mobile phones is that they have location information. So on any of the high-end phones, Android, iPhone, Palm, with the location APIs that are out there right now, when you're building experiences for mobile users, you can actually use location and make their jobs easier. So if you were a mobile user in a certain city looking for a hotel, wouldn't it be great if you just turned on your app and the app knew where you were? Wouldn't it be better if you're trying to rent a car not to have someone put in what city they were in or what zip code they were in? Just use the innate features of the phone. With the location information we have now from the phones, you can really make life easy for the traveler. And this goes from the researching phase to the booking phase. And obviously, to the experiencing phase when you're in a location and you're trying to find things to do. And when you want to extend that relationship with the client past the booking and right into the travel experience, if you use location, you can just generate a great experience for customers. We thought this was a great example. This is a super shuttle. And the super shuttle mobile experience allows people not only to do the core things you'd want to do when you're booking super shuttle, pick me up at home, cancellation, change my timing, my flight's coming early, rebook. But this also has something called Where's My Van? You push a button, it uses a Google map on the back and your location, and it shows exactly where that van is. This example can spread all the way through different examples in the travel industry where if you really want to give a great experience, think about how you can use location in new and creative ways because consumers are demanding it, and the new high-end phones really, really allow that. I just want to take a second and tell you about our definition of high-end phones. The BlackBerry, for us, in our systems, our engineers have looked at all the different devices that have been out for the last few years. And we had to draw a line in the sand for which phones are we going to consider high-end phones and which phones are going to be low-end phones. And the split came at BlackBerry. So BlackBerry, because the browser on all except the latest BlackBerry are browsers that aren't super fast, we categorize those as low-end phones. And Android, iPhone, Palm, and a lot of the new phones coming out now we categorize as high-end phones. Now, the difference between having a low-end phone and a high-end phone is dramatic. If you shift from a BlackBerry to an Android phone, you're going to do 50 times as many searches, and you're going to do something in the order of 35 to 50 times more browsing. So you're going to be much, much more engaged. There's going to be much, much different things you want to do with that audience than the feature phone audience. And also tablets. So tablets have come on extremely strong. I think that the other day I read an article that said, despite there's a huge amount of demand in the Apple stores right now for the iPad 2, but the iPad 2 is the most successful launch ever. So every time Apple's releasing a new product, it's the most successful one ever. The tablets are driving a huge amount of traffic, and I want to let you know how we think about tablets. When we first started our mobile business, we had this problem, which was we had to talk to advertisers who had great websites and great landing pages, but that were heavy Flash. And we had to say, Flash doesn't work on an iPhone. And now we're having the same conversations with tablets. There's so much potential for tablets, but make sure when you're using them and you're building marketing campaigns around tablets that you don't use Flash. In a week or two, we're going to launch a new change to our front-end system, which is going to create a third category of targeting ads. So right now, we have tablets as a category of mobile. In a few weeks, we're going to change that. We're going to have desktop, tablets, and mobile. So we're going to allow for even greater targeting and allow advertisers to build even richer formats for tablets. Because not everything that fits and works well on a small mobile phone screen is going to work well on a tablet. But again, not everything that works well on a desktop will work on an iPad because of the Flash issues and some other issues, and because it's a touchscreen. So we're really entering a new world, and I think there's a huge amount of opportunity for tablets.